Hello and welcome to Bold Talk. My name is Mary Newman.
And I'm Adilmi Balogun.
Today's theme is a little bit African.
Hence the attire that you can see us wearing.
Reason being, we just want to discuss a few things regarding societal pressures of African homes.
That is correct.
For example, I went to see a friend of mine the other day.
Okay.
She's newlywed. Well, I say newlywed because she's still at that honeymoon stage.
The honeymoon
like
stage.
2 years married, but they don't have any kids yet.
Okay.
Nothing's wrong with that, right?
No, not as far as I'm aware of.
You want to enjoy each other.
Yep.
But she comes from an African background. And
I can already tell where this is going. Yeah, I can already tell that this is going to boil my blood.
And the thing is,
right.
She was telling me that she feels under a lot of pressure to have a child. Not that she doesn't want children, but she's just not ready. She just wants to enjoy her man. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with the fact that you want to do it, because at the end of the day, it's bad enough when you're sharing your life with someone that you...
Wait, what do you mean it's bad enough?
Okay, let me rephrase. I don't mean bad enough. The thing is, it takes a certain amount of patience, a certain amount of understanding, because this person is doing, you like certain things done a certain way. I'll give you an example. Like, okay, for me, I'm one of those people that like to press the toothpaste at the bottom,
yeah.
Right? And for someone else, it might be the fact that they press it in the middle of the tube, and that would drive me mental.
Fine.
That said, they're little quirky little things, but the fact is, you have to get used to the way certain people do certain things. Like I had to get. Even till now, I'm still having to get used to the fact that when I walk into the living room, I leave the door wide open. My wife wants the door closed. And it's a case of close the door. Yeah. Or I'd come home from work and I stomp in my boots and stomp into the living room with my shoes on. She likes the shoes checked at the door.
Okay, fine. So those early stages of marriage.
Exactly.
To find each other. So, okay, fine. So why then should one feel pressurized to have children? Are you not supposed to just
ease into it? I mean, it should be down to preference, because really, look, when I was married, when I got married, we went straight for it. Was not something that we had initially planned. We had said that we were going to wait for a while and enjoy each other and this, that, and the other. Yeah. But you know what? We had the child. We got pregnant and we had a baby.
I love the way you say we. Like,
It's we. We're a team.
Okay, fine. That's all well and good, but I'm talking. Your mother, not even your own parents. Your in-law is down your throat, like, Sonny, when is Shade going to give me my child? Do you know the African mums?
When is Shade going to give me?
No disrespect, mums. I love my African mums, But you get the ones that are like, or whatever they say. They want to back their child.
They want to back the child.
They'll be acting as if they're going to die tomorrow, But it's a lot of pressure.
It is a lot of pressure. It is a lot. I agree.
I personally think that it's mostly the woman that faces the pressure, not the man.
That is very true. That is very true. The thing is, before you even say that, okay, put it this way: women face the pressure. Men face a different kind of pressure.
Pray tell.
The reason why I say men face a different kind of pressure is because the man's pressure is to do with the home. He has to provide this. He has to be doing it. He has to be in a good job. He has to be able to look after his wife. He has to be able to. He has to be. It doesn't have to be a flashy car, but he has to be driving a good car. He has to have a good house. He has to do. He has to do this. He has to put the war bed down.
Okay, let me ask you.
Oh, but for those that don't understand what the war bed means, it is money for stew. So for the upkeep of the house.
But hold on. As a man, don't you want those things?
I do want those things.
Okay, so I don't think that's pressure. The only way
I call it pressure. I call it pressure because circumstances happen. It's the same thing, like I said, with the it's the same thing I said with the young couple, right? That they don't have to feel pressure. They shouldn't be pressured because you don't know what's going on behind closed doors. You don't know what's going on inside their house. You don't know whether they're trying and something is not, something is happening. You don't know whether it's their personal choice that they are planning. That's what I'm saying. So with the man, you don't know what's going on with him. It's only between him and his wife that they know what's going on. So even if it's a case where he's applied for work and but the things are not forthcoming, you cannot pressure them.
That's fine. I do. Take a sip, breathe. Okay, right. We're only talking about having babies now.
I'm sorry. I went into a rant. I'm sorry.
We have not even gone into the whole when are you gonna start looking after me? Onje more. That's another thing. Oh, don't get me started. But you know, our parents, they want the best for us. They mean the best for us. And remember, we're gonna be like that one day, whether we choose to believe it or not.
I'd like to think that I will be a lot more understanding.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. But these are just things that we face in Africa. I mean, how does one deal with it? For example, you may never have experienced that, but what if, for example, you have a friend and they're facing that kind of pressure? You're not going to turn around and say to them, oh, you shouldn't feel pressurized. You're not, like you said, you're not in their situation. You're not living with them. And take away, I don't know, maybe medical reasons for not being able to have children.
Right, okay.
Stress is another factor.
Of course, stress is another factor.
With all that pressure sitting on their neck, really and truly, you're going to bed every night. You want to make love to your wife, and all you're thinking is your mum's Formula Ma, and then your dad's on the other side.
Not the kind of image you want to put in your head.
It's really going to make you want to do anything, is it?
Not the kind of image you want in your head when you're about to turn out the lights.
I mean, mum and dad, we love you. Sometimes you guys need to give us a break. Like, we might want to get our career on. We might just want to have our husband to ourselves for a little bit longer, you know. God bless you.
Okay, I've got some. Let's change pace slightly. Now, putting all the fact. Let's put the fact the pressures of childbearing to one side. Now, the pressures. There's also the pressure of the perfect look. Now, this is not something that stays in the African in the African setting as well. It's also in the Western setting when you have the magazines of skinny girls, perfect complexion,
what do you
and
mean
whatnot.
By the perfect look?
Perfect. The reason why I say perfect look, I don't know what the perfect look is for some people, but they need to understand that the thing is, you don't know what's going on in someone's personal life. Now, what irks me is when you haven't seen somebody in a while.
Say that word again. What
irks me? I'll spell it IRK. Irks with an S on the side. What irks me most is you haven't seen somebody in a while. You haven't spoken to this person in so long. Now you're walking down the street and you bump into this person. Now I don't know whether this happens in other cultures, but why is it? Why? Is it that the first thing that you have to do is to look for the most negative thing about me and drop it like it's hot?
Wait. Are you talking from personal experience?
Yes, I'm talking from personal experience.
I can see this one feel paying you.
Yes.
Feel paying you. Where?
The reason why I said it is like, okay, it's like few months ago, I bumped into somebody that I hadn't spoken in a while, and not knowing that I can be a bit self-conscious. I might look all of this, and you know what? All of this can be hot and then some, because my missus feels that all of this is. That's why I wear the Superman, whatever. But the fact is, you looked at the whole of me, and the first thing you said to me,
the package.
You hear me? And the first thing she said to me was, "See your stomach, it's protruding there."
But to be honest, now, I mean,
no.
Was you wearing the right size shirt that day?
That's not the point.
You just
that is not the point. That's not the point. That's not. Look. When she said, hold on. Hold that thought. Don't get me wrong. We're coming back to it. I'm telling you, the moment she said that, I'm telling you, my stomach looked at me and went, I ain't got nothing to do with it.
I was just gonna say that because okay, for a woman. You can relate, right? You know what I'm talking about. We get those days when we're feeling kind of bloated and, you know, PMS and all of that. So we know that if you are going to wear a particular outfit, you either make it baggy,
you break out the girls and stuff.
But wait, don't do. I need to breathe. It's one of them ones where you suck it in. You understand? You suck it in. And you keep
how long are you going to do that for?
At least you walk past that person or you wear one big jacket. But As for you now, maybe you just finished eating one amalang bakery and you decided to put on your tightest tank shirt thinking I'm Superman, like you said. Now, can you fault that person?
Yes.
First of all, no.
Yes.
Hello?
Yes.
Can we please take responsibility for our actions?
Yes, I can take responsibility. And on that day, I was not wearing a tight fitting. I don't wear tight fitting clothes. If I'm gonna wear anything tight fitting, it stays inside of my shirt, and it's because it is cold. It's colder than a snowman's patootie out there.
Yeah?
Damn straight.
Okay.
That is it. But on that particular day, I swear, when she said that to me, I'm telling you, my face changed, and I immediately turned around and went, "You that you're talking, look at your own stomach there."
No, you did not.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did, because I did not find it funny.
You are an African.
Damn straight.
You did not express any diplomacy.
Damn
you
straight.
just landed it. Bam.
Damn straight. She chose to land it damn. Look. Let me tell you something. If you can dish it, you can dig it.
You know what? No, that one. I have to.
You have to
Some
what?
people are very, very good at giving it, but they can't take it.
That's my point.
Not everybody
If you
has
can't-
thick skin.
Look, at the end of the day, guys, the way I say it, if you can't give it, if you can't take it, don't give it. Simple.
Hold on. I just thought of something.
What?
What if
What if?
she meant it as a compliment?
Well, she sure as heck
Wait,
did not mean it as a
listen,
compliment.
Hear me out. She may have been suggesting that because of your well-rounded figure, that you are now living large. You know, because in some African cultures, notice that the English has become, queen-like. In some African cultures, they do believe that
Y'all can see my face,
a
right?
big stomach equals wealth. If you go to Nigeria now, how many rich people? I mean, okay, maybe nowadays people are taking. Stick with me. Nowadays, people are taking more. They're taking more interest in their health. Getting physical and all of that. But back then, if you think of your father's father, even your own father, you'll see that Bele means money.
In that
Because if
case,
you don't have money to eat,
in that case, what I will say is not about what she said. It was the way she went about saying it. Because at the end of the day,
play devil's advocate for one
before
minute.
you play devil's advocate, at the end of the day, if she meant that as a compliment, there is a way and manner in which you would say it that I will take it as a compliment and go, yes, care.
Some might say,
But at the
she's
same
being
time,
blunt.
No, when somebody says something, okay, all right, I'm gonna be.
I'm winding you up.
I know you are. But I'll just say, take for instance now. Let me give you an instance now. Okay, as pretty as you are, let's for a second assume that you hadn't applied your makeup the way that you have applied it. Now, hear me out. And it was a case where the makeup wasn't, maybe the foundation was a shade too light or too dark, and the lipstick went askew somewhere. Now, would you prefer I came up to you and go, hon, you might want to check what you've done. You might want to do a bit of blending.
First of all,
wait, hold on.
Know about all of this.
Well, I'll tell you that my wife is a makeup artist, and I got game. But I'm just saying, if I came up to you and said, you need to check it and do a bit of blending, or I came up to you and go, did you actually look at the mirror when you applied your thing? You looked like you just rubbed your face inside your palette and stepped out. Which would you have preferred?
Obviously, I'd prefer the first one.
That's my point.
But this is why I say, let me play devil's advocate.
Okay, fine. Play your devil's advocate. Let me listen.
I said to you, she may be complimenting you on your well-rounded physique.
Again, look at my face.
But I could also say other people might see it as an insult like yourself, but for a different reason. Because you can have somebody with the roundest stomach, they could have malnutrition. So
there's that
you don't
too.
really need to make assumptions that because someone has a big belly, they'll be well fed. Even being well fed, that fat belly might not even be down to good food.
That is exactly my point.
So,
because I don't see the reason why you come up to a person and you target. Almost looks like it's like maybe the hair.
Don't target my hair, you know.
Who knew? Who knew?
A lot of
Who
time
knew?
my hairdresser's got game. Don't target my hair. So, anyway,
I like my hair. I like to wear my hair a certain way, and I like that. I like it a certain way. Ever since yes, it was pointed to me that it looks better this way. I like wearing it this way, and I get very vain about it. And then you now turn around. I come home. I'll give you a scenario now. I went for a recording somewhere in King's Cross, and I just literally the recording, the actual concert itself was the following day, but they were recording the rehearsals. So I'd gone to my barber, I'd gotten myself a freshest cut, got him, shaped everything. I stood in front of the mirror and I looked at it. I thought, you know what? Damn it, I look good. Got into my suit. Got everything cut. Even my missus, by the time I sprayed all the perfume and whatnot and I stepped outside, my wife looked at me and said, I went, damn it, are you sure I should not go and get dressed and come with you and find out where you're going? Right? Because she said I looked good.
Okay.
So
you looked good.
Exactly. My wife said it. I looked in the mirror and damn it, I looked good. I thought my haircut was good. And I got there. I got to the place now, we'd gotten in, we all stood and we were all looking up, all the girlies, they had their makeup done and they were standing, or we were all standing around. And this was me talking that, I had to go. We were talking about what we had to do when we were getting ready and everything. And I said, oh yeah, I went to the barber's yesterday and got my hair cut, and I actually feel good about it.
So you even announced that you got it?
I even announced it because I said it, and this chick, I don't know what her problem was. She turned around and she goes, "Are you sure you cut that hair?" What? She actually said that.
Do you know what?
She looked at the hair and she was like, "I'm surprised that you said you've cut. Are you sure you cut this hair?"
Let's be real. Like, the size of your ego when you left your house, I mean, I think, to be honest, I think it kind of needed to be brought down a bit, but that's just the
that ain't got none of this. No, we do not. I'm sorry. But as long, look, the one thing I love about my wife is that she checks me before I leave the house. If she says I'm not looking good, then there's an absolute chance that I am not looking good, because a woman's never wrong.
All right, fine.
So the fact that she said I look good, as far as I'm concerned, I looked good. For that woman to insult the fact that I looked good, I took it as a personal insult, not just to me, but to my wife's word.
Oh wow!
And I took it personal.
Wow. Okay.
She was lucky that we were in a Christian setting, and I swear to God, I was being a good Christian boy. So I did not tell her about herself. She was also pregnant at the time, so I had to spare her feelings so that she don't drop it like it's hot there and then.
She hurt you, didn't she? Hello.
Okay, now that we got that out the way.
Thank you for Jesus. Moving on. Okay, now. We've talked about the pressures of having babies. We've talked about pressures of society looking good, which you are not feeling any of, as we've established. What about another common pressure in African culture, which is that of the in-laws staying? Well, before I get you started on that one,
I got nothing to do with it. I think that's going to be my favorite catchphrase now.
What? I mean, okay. Some people might think that I'm too English in my way of thinking, but I'm a realist.
Okay.
And to be honest, I've not experienced any of that yet. I've been married a long time, but I've always said to myself, before I can live with somebody else's parents, I've got to be able to live with mine. And
I think you can't live with yours.
Listen, I'm not saying I can't, but it's difficult. It is difficult. It's one thing when you're young and you have no choice, but when you've grown up, you've set your own way, you've got your own standards, and then you're going to have your parents come and live with you, and you have to adapt the way you live. And those are people that you know and grew up with, talk less of strangers. I mean, Lord, give me the strength when if the time comes.
To be honest,
what do you do?
To be honest, I don't really have an opinion on that because I know it's strange. But the thing is, Personally, I feel it's on a case by case basis. It depends, because really and truly, we, as much as our parents owe us a responsibility, they owe a responsibility to us. In the fact that when we were growing up, they have to look after us and whatnot. We in turn owe a responsibility to them.
That I agree with.
We owe that responsibility to them. Now, if it's a case where we have the room, and it will be better, because at the end of the day, when parents are growing old, they want to be around their children. They want to be around their grandchildren. Now, an opportunity for them to be around their grandchildren, if you have the space, is to have them live with you. Obviously, if you have the space, you give them their own space within your house, and it also, in a way, it also helps you, because childcare right now is quite expensive.
That's fine.
And the fact is, when they're living with you, they will be happy to have their grandchildren running around them.
That is fine.
But I hear a but coming on.
That was choice.
Okay.
That was choice. I'm talking when you don't really have a choice and your hubby or your wifey comes to you and says, babe, mom's not doing well, I'm not wishing bad, but everyone's left her and she's living by herself back there now, and I think maybe we should have her living with us.
I think it's, to be honest, that is something that before, if that was me, if I was in that position, if I was, let's just say that I was in that position, it's the kind of thing that I will sit down with my wife and we would literally have a conversation about it.
But that's
we
good,
would have,
but not
we would have to.
everyone
I understand that, but what I'm saying is a case where we both have to agree on
That's
it.
fine. That's what I'm saying. This is logical thinking. But in an African home, there is no we are sitting down and talking about. Don't get me wrong. I've not been in all African homes. I'm not saying that's how it is. But this is how it's portrayed, should I say?
Yeah. Okay.
This is how it has been portrayed to me. In the way I've seen it is like
Again,
either it's in the media or from things that I've heard from people. It's like they are coming and that's
the end. Fair enough.
And
It's like that. It's like that in some homes. It's not like that in some homes.
Yeah.
So it's the kind of thing that you have to look at it. It's the kind of thing that you look on a case by case basis. Really, you can't flat out. I mean, again, I can't speak for everybody. I'm not going to speak for everybody. I can only speak for myself. If this was me as a man, I will sit down with my wife. If it's my parents that want to come round, I will sit down with my wife. It's the kind of conversation that before I even go back to them and I make the suggestion or tell them yes or something, I will sit down with my wife and explain to them that this is what I've stated my case.
Yeah.
This is the situation. This is what. But then again, I'm different. I look at things through a different. I look at things through a different set of eyes.
And
now,
so we have seen.
Because in all fairness, I can't just impose my own law. First and foremost, in my house, we're a team. We're a team, and in a team, with teammates, you sit down and talk things, and come to a decision. You don't just. It's not a dictatorship.
Tell them.
It's not a dictatorship. It's a democracy, not a dictatorship. I am the head of the home. My wife is the neck, and we have to communicate for things to work. We're a team, first and foremost. That's just it. At the same time, if the situation was reversed and her folks were coming over, I would expect that she'd come to me. We'll sit down, we'll talk about it, come to an agreement, lay the ground, set the ground. Not even forget rules. Let's not talk about ground rules or anything. Let's lay the foundation and prepare for their coming. But then again, like I said, and I'll always say that's my own opinion. That's just me.
That's me. And it is an opinion-based show, so don't take anything that we're saying.
Please don't take anything that we say as law.
It's not. This is just our opinion, and of course we've only got half an hour to express it.
Yeah.
So obviously, there's a lot more that we think on things, but we don't have enough time to share it. But I mean, overall, I would say the African culture is one of
beauty.
Yeah. That word doesn't even do it justice.
I'm sorry, it doesn't. Not by a long shot. It is a beautiful culture. It is a caring culture. I mean, sometimes I know as Africans we get very, very passionate about a lot of things. We get passionate when we see our friends. Passionate to the point where sometimes we actually forget ourselves and forget the certain etiquettes of people's feelings.
The surroundings.
Exactly.
When you're talking, sitting down. We're now talking corporately,
in a corporate setting.
Then, somebody comes and says that, hey, boy, give me 5. It's like, wait, what just happened? What?
And we can be quite loud. We
Yeah.
can be quite ostentatious. But that's just us. That is the beauty of us.
And
it's
we
just
love
and we love it, and we love it. And we wouldn't change it. We wouldn't change it for anything.
Mm-mm.
You know what? We wouldn't.
No,
Now, that being said, it is time to call it a day.
I've had so much fun talking about these topics, and I really hope that you guys have taken away something positive from this. We're not knocking the culture. We're not knocking people's way of living their homes or running their homes. We're just saying, you know, maybe it might be food for thought. You know, there's more than one way to skin a cat. And also,
definitely. Okay, that's an expression I would always use.
There's a saying, you keep doing what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got. So if you want change, try something different.
It's also like my dad always say, you can't put a square peg in a round hole and expect it to fit. And the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting different results. If you want something to change, you have to be ready to change it yourself. If you want something to change, waiting for something to happen doesn't always affect change. You have to get up, get out there, and make it happen.
Be the change that you want to see.
On that note, it's been an absolute cracking time. I've had an absolute cracking time talking about this topic today, and I can't wait till we meet again next time. When we talk about a new topic, we talk about a different thing, and hopefully our passions won't run too high like it did today, because I have to admit,
we'll try not to hit too much nerves.
Yes, we'll try not to strike. Hopefully she wouldn't strike my nerves like she did today.
I'll try not to.
Yeah. Well,
it would be boring, wouldn't it?
It would be.
See you next time.
Take care.
Bye.
Are you a film producer, editor, post-production person? Do you require video coverage of events, equipment hire as well as graphic designs? Then look no further. Adesmark Productions Limited guarantees quality services in film production, editing, equipment hire, video coverage of events, CD, DVD duplication and more. Adesmark Productions Limited, UK telephone number 079 56 921 064. Adesmark Productions, quality services guaranteed.